Good afternoon, everyone. This is a regular meeting of the Hollister City Council on December 17th, 2024. Meeting is now called to order. It is 4:02 p.m. City Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Perez,
Present.
Councilmember Resendez,
Present.
Councilmember Burns,
Here.
Mayor Casey,
Here.
and Councilmember Morales is not present. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Perez, could you lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
Ready, sir. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I think there's still seats down the side if anyone's, so take a minute and sit down. So I want to welcome you all. Tonight, we are going to be recognizing outgoing council members and swearing in our new members. If any of you wish to speak regarding council members, you'll be welcome to fill out a speaker slip and submit it to the city clerk. And you will be allowed to make those comments during the public comment portion of the agenda. And for any of you on Zoom, you could raise your hand at that time and also make a comment. Once we conclude the first portion of this meeting, we're going to be taking a short recess and convene in the lobby for refreshments. I believe we have no closed session before that. Is that correct? That's correct, Leland. Thank you. Before we go to public comment, I wanted to move the consent agenda forward and get that time. So do any members of the council have any brief questions or comments on items from the consent agenda? No? Wow. City Clerk, do we have any public comment on any of our consent agenda items?
There are no public comments for any of these consent agenda items.
All right. Do you wish to have any pulled or are we ready to kind of get a motion?
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
All right, motion carries. All right, so we're going to move on then to public input. This is the time for anyone in the audience to speak on any item not on the agenda and within the subject matter jurisdiction of the council. Speaker cards are available in the lobby and are to be completed and given to the city clerk. Before speaking, when the city clerk calls your name, please come to the podium, state your name and city for the records, and speak to the city council. If you're joining us via Zoom, please click on the bottom of your screen to raise your hand. If you're joining us via Zoom using a cell phone, please press *9. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes with a maximum of 30 minutes per subject. City clerk, do we have to have a number of speakers? Where are we at with that?
We currently have 4 for public comment.
Okay, then we'll leave it at 3 minutes. Please note that state law prohibits the city council from discussing or taking action on any items that are not on the agenda. So we have public comment, please.
Yes, and I do just want to make a quick announcement before I call the names out. Those who are wanting to speak about outgoing or incoming council members, that will be a separate item. So there's a couple questions on that. So our first speaker is Eric Larson, to be followed by Casey.
Hello, council. My name is Eric Larson, and I'm an iron worker. I'm a member of Local 377. And I worked for a number of years here in Hollister, San Benito County, with home care providers, training home care providers to advocate for their families and loved ones and the disabled and seniors. And then COVID hit, and that changed my role. I found my way into construction, digging ditches and doing demo work for residential jobs and driving a dump truck. A friend of mine here in Hollister steered me towards something called the Trade Orientation Program called TOP, and I was introduced to apprenticeship opportunities. I've been on some down times and I've been incarcerated, but construction was a place where my background really didn't matter. Hollister's community workforce agreement was written to provide for targeted hiring of representatives.
I'm sorry. That's on the future agenda item for the next council.
Are we speaking about the agenda item? Is it specific to
There are requests for future agenda items, that's ones related to the topic. We haven't typically taken public comment on those, so it's up to you.
So,
If this item's on the agenda,
Yeah, it's,
then you would wait to speak to it at the agenda time.
okay,
What item is it, Jennifer?
it's under request for future agenda items, so it's not listed separately
Okay,
as a noticed item with a recommendation.
got it. Okay, so then you would still have an opportunity to speak, sir. It would just be at the time when this comes before.
so later in the meeting, when they bring up the future agenda items, we can discuss it then.
So it'd be better to hold off.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes, and the clerk will call you back up.
Okay, great.
Thank
And,
you.
You know what, the agenda items?
Item 10.1 or 10.2.1, I believe, or somewhere along those lines. 10.1 yeah, 10.2.1.
And you'll call me up or?
Yes, I'll call out your name. I've got your.
Thanks, appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next speaker we have is Casey.
I guess we gotta wait,
Okay,
because I was just gonna speak for the benefits of feeling nothing about the future agenda or anything. Is that okay?
I think you have to wait until the future agenda item is addressed, I guess. That's what the city attorney is saying, so it'll come later in the meeting.
and then Nels Ash. Okay, and then finally Steve Belong. Okay, those are all the public comments we have.
Okay, so let's move on to item 7, special orders of the day. We have recognition of outgoing council members. We'll start with council member Rick Perez. Mr. Perez, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, I love. And people make the community. We make the community good for people. It's been an honor, it's been a privilege. I'm excited to see what God's gonna take me next. The relationships that I've been able to develop with all my esteemed colleagues and you do Dolores, staff, the people I've been able to meet, things we've been able to do as a team, I think it's great. You know, it's like, it's been an honor. Let me tell you. It's been a growing experience. Faith building experience, the giving experience. And if I've done anything to offend you going, please forgive me. That and the city must move on, and things go on, and you know what city business just keeps going, and going, and going. You know, and it's all for you guys. So thank you for letting me serve you for the last 4 years.
To anyone who's the council, just want to say again. Okay, well, I just would like to close this saying that, you know, Councilmember Perez, that I wanted to thank you for your 4 years of service to the residents of Hollister. You've given a lot to the community, attending, I swear, hundreds of local events, more than probably the rest of us combined. Your focus on the needs of your district is commendable. Thanks to your dedication, a few of our 100-year-old alleys are now finally being upgraded. And the tree policy that you championed is going to help to keep our town green. There's a reason why we call you Mr. Hollister. Given your love of our town, I know you will continue to be active in our community, and I look forward to working with you in the future. City manager.
Yeah, if we could have Councilmember Perez come on up, we have a small token of appreciation. We're present in honor of your service to the city of Hollister. We have a plaque here that is in recognition of your years of service from 2020 to 2024 and your dedication to the city of Hollister. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
From Mr. Cole, Councilmember Tim Burns.
I just want to thank city staff for putting up with me for 4 years and the support of the community has been overwhelming. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Sure.
Your brother and Joey, right? Yeah. This man has so much to offer our community. We've shared it with our community. Thank you for being with me.
So, Councilmember Burns, thank you for your 4 years of dedicated service to Hollister. As a member of our council, your focus on safety has improved the quality of life for all of our residents. I've appreciated your willingness to share your knowledge with us and how you treated each council member, the staff, and the public with the utmost respect and civility. I hope we'll have the opportunity to work together again. Yeah, do you?
Councilmember Burns, in recognition of your years of service from 2020 to 24 and your dedication to the city of Hollister, I'm honored to present you with this plaque. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I guess I have to talk to you then. First, I just want to say thank you to the staff. We have a great city manager and a lot of new folks that have come on board. And I'm amazed at how much you've gotten done in the past few years. I know there's a lot of cleanup that's had to happen, a lot of new procedures being established. I really feel like Hollister's in good hands with all of you. So I want to thank you all for everything and for helping me as I learned for the first year or so. I also want to just thank the council for working together, you know, despite challenges that we've had. I think we've actually gotten some good work done. And so I wanted to thank you all, to Dolores, wherever you are with your family. Thank you as well. And then I thought about it, and I want to say, first of all, congratulations to the incoming council members. And I have a little advice for you. I didn't get much advice when I took office. It would have been nice, but I think that when you're doing this job, it's really important to listen to your community, listen to your constituents. Yes, that is probably one of the most important jobs that you have. It's not the only job you have. You're about to be sworn in. You're going to be taking an oath. And in that oath, you're swearing to uphold the Constitution of the United States, but also the Constitution of the state of California and all of its laws. And I hope you'll also extend that to your local laws. And the last piece is, you know, it's also your job to protect the city and try to reduce the risk of legal exposure. And I hope you will take that seriously as well. My goal has always been to try to see Hollister thrive, and I hope that's your goal as well. And I wish you all the best of luck. It's a tough job. It's not easy to please everyone. You're always going to have folks that are unhappy, but you just do the best you can. So that's all I have to say. Thanks. And I'm sorry.
Mayor Casey, we have a plaque for you that also has a gavel inscribed with your name on it. And so thank you for your service and your commitment to the city of Hollister. We appreciate it.
And Mayor Casey, as you're coming back up, I'll let you know that we do have 4 speakers for this item.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Our first speaker is Devin Pack, to be followed by Bob Tiffany.
Thank you, Council. I just wanted to give my thanks to Councilman Perez, Councilman Burns, and Mayor Casey for their service these past 2 or 4 years. Councilman Burns, Councilman Perez, you came in during the pandemic, arguably the hardest times that Hollister has ever experienced, a time of considerable economic privation and death within our community. So you governed with fortitude in a very difficult time, and for that, I appreciate your labor. I know it's often been a thankless, often a boring, and often a frustrating job because there's can be such slow process, and there's so many different, public interests and government interests that need to be served and balanced and adjudicated. Thank you for your service. And I'm not going to say goodbye, because I'm quite confident that you will all continue to be involved in our community and in the public sphere. Thank you.
Our next public speaker is Bob Tiffany, to be followed by Jeannie Wallace.
Good afternoon. As I know from personal experience, running for public office and then serving as a local elected official is not easy, even under the best of circumstances. It's often very much a thankless job, and that's why few people are willing to step up and serve their community in such a public way. And frankly, serving in the city of Hollister and San Diego County can be especially difficult. Instead of disagreeing in a respectful, civil manner, debates over policy decisions have often descended into personal attacks. It sadly has seemed to be a pattern in our community over the years, and it's not only embarrassing to many of us to see how some of our elected officials act, but it makes it that much harder to move forward and get things done. That's especially why I believe the entire community should applaud the job done by each of the outgoing members of the city council. Mayor Mia Casey, Councilmember Nick Perez, and Councilmember Tim Burns. In my mind, they have each served the city of Hollister with distinction in spite of some very difficult circumstances. Thank you so much for your service. It's greatly appreciated, and it has made a difference. In closing, it is my fervent hope that the newly elected mayor and council members will work together with those remaining on the council in a collaborative and collegial manner, both among themselves and with the county. No doubt you'll not always agree on policy direction, but disagreeing respectfully and without personal malice is not only the right thing to do, but you'll find that so much more can get done. Thank you and happy holidays.
The next public speaker is Jeannie Wallace, to be followed by Elias Linas.
Good evening, council members. I am saddened by some of the treatment that some of you have received on the council and during the campaign. I know that negative campaigning is extremely effective. I also find that it lacks integrity, and it grieves me, especially when it happens within my party. I don't know how we proceed for the good of the people of San Diego County, except in the way that Bob Tiffany just mentioned. People trying to keep their eyes on what's best for the community and trying to work together and find common ground. Mayor Casey, Councilmember Perez, Councilmember Burns, I do want to thank you for your service, for your commitment to decency, civility, integrity, and the good of the community during those 4 years that you've been on the council. I'm well aware that the vitriol that some of you have experienced would never have happened had you not volunteered, stepped forward and offered your services to this community. It is difficult to find people who are willing to do that, and all the more difficult when we don't treat them well. I'm very grateful to you for your continued focus on the good of the community right up until the very end of your terms. And I want to thank you for your service and wish you all the best.
The next public speaker is Elias Salinas, to be followed by Carly Robles.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor and council members. I want to thank you for your duty to this community. It has not always been easy. I appreciate the 4 years that each council member has dedicated to this community. Councilmember Burns, you've been involved in this community for a very long time, not just 4 years, and I'm sure that you will continue to be here in this community. You've done a lot for the community. You've done a lot of traffic enforcement, getting stop signs, getting the lights out there, getting the landscaping done in your community. And I hope that people realize that it's not that easy to get something done, but it takes a while and it finally got done. So thank you very much for what you did for your district. Councilmember Perez, thank you very much. You came in here and you wanted to get down those alleyways. And unfortunately, it wasn't 100% done, but you did work on it, and it took a long time, not on your part, but on other people's part. But I am hopeful that people are listening and people are paying attention. How difficult it is to serve in this community, how difficult it is when all of a sudden you disagree with another council member and it just starts rolling chaos after chaos after chaos in different meetings. And it's when you make a decision out here, it's not personal. You do your homework, you do your research, and you make a decision what you feel is in the best interest of the entire community. And I hope that the council members that are coming in realize that. People are not, you're not gonna make the people 100% happy, but you did your best. And I hope that people realize out there when they see a stop sign or when they see that the bushes got trimmed, that somebody stepped up to get that done. Mayor Mia Casey, thank you so much. Your campaign started off, you know, the first campaign was rough. It was always negative. The second campaign was negative. You have been facing 98% of you while you sat there. You took 98% negativity and you reacted with grace. You reacted with dignity. You reacted with respect to the entire community after attack after attack. And I know that you also have been involved in this community for a long time. And you will continue to be involved. And I hope to see you all in the near future in different activities. Thank you. Thank you.
The next public speaker is Carly Robles.
Hello, this is gonna be pretty short. I just wanted to happily say goodbye to you. I know you did your best, hopefully. And it was kind of sad to watch our city go from $14 million and have it just be blown away. And hopefully our next administration can work for the people or constituents and not developers. And it shows what just a small group of people can do when they believe in something. And I myself and some friends have come up here many, many times and have spoken and said that we don't agree with what the developers want, and we felt like we weren't being listened to. And that is the reason why we have a new administration, because we were not listened to. Constituents were not listened to. And I wish I could say I'm sorry to see you go, but I'm not. And Dolores, I know you're watching, you're up there too. And you know, there's another election coming up, and we've got some powerful people behind us now. So. I hope you have a good life. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind and gracious comments.
Mayor Casey, I did get one more card from Joe.
Come on down, Joe.
Thanks, guys. I cut here a little bit late and I really appreciate the chance to come up and speak. I was gonna say that I do disagree with Carly on a couple things, that this is not just the determination of a small group of people was important to the campaign, but it was the voters who voted, the people, it was the people who made the decision, all the people, not just the campaign. The campaign does not make the decision, the voters make the decision. Dollars that make a decision, it's not a couple of campaigners, it's the voters who make the decision. So I'm sorry that you guys lost. I like that, I like the guy we're gonna get now. But, you know, you guys took a lot of negative attacks, and you guys, you know. You guys held your composure, and that was quite admirable. I mean, I know we disagreed on a lot of things. And I know that the first time you met Mayor Casey that you didn't agree on a couple of things, and the rest of this time last year that actually I very loudly proclaimed my disagreement on something. So, but all things considered, you guys handled yourself, held tenders of service really, really well under an enormous amount of pressure. And even with an overwhelming defeat, you guys have handled yourself well. It's admirable. I will not lie. I mean, again, we disagree on some stuff. We disagree on Measure A. And I don't think I think we'll both be long dead in the ground before we ever agree on Measure A. But you know what? I gotta tip my hat to you guys. Respect. Plenty of respect for you guys. So I don't think I think I think that as far as, you know, rating adversaries would go, well over an 8, probably % up a lot of folks. You guys did handle yourselves well as adversaries. And I hope we can be great allies in the future. I know we all care about the county, even if we disagree on some stuff. We will agree on other things too. And loving this county, loving the city are two of them. So I hope you guys don't go away. And I hope you will find some more things to do in the future. Thank you guys for your service. However brief and everything. Thank you.
And those are all the speakers we have for this item.
Okay, so we're going to take a short recess, and I understand there are refreshments. Is that correct?
Those will be at the end of the entirety of the meeting.
Oh, okay, sorry. So we're gonna take a short recess.
Me now, thank you.
That's correct. Thank you. So thank you very much. I'm Jennifer Woodward, City Clerk for the City of Hollister, and we will now swear in those who are elected at the November 5th, 2024 election. First, we will be doing for most a ceremonial swearing in by those they have invited to participate in that, to be followed by the official swearing in that I will do for each of them. So there will be two for most. So if we will go ahead and start with our City Council District 1, I invite you and any others you've invited to be with you to join you up here, and we will get you sworn in. The Councilmember elect Shay. People that love something.
Thank you very much. My name is Alex Miller, and I am a city council member in the great city of Seaside. Rudy Pichet has been my friend for over 20 years, and this is a great honor to do this for him. So Rudy, please raise your right hand. Please repeat after me. I, Rudy Pichet, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution
that I will support and defend the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California.
that I take this oath, this obligation freely,
I take this oath, this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
I will well and faithfully discharge the duties that I am about to enter.
Congratulations, Councilman.
You're all good. Anyone that wants to stay on is welcome to. So you can go ahead and raise your right hand. I state your name.
I
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
to support and
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic.
foreign enemies,
I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I bear true
to the Constitution of the United States
faith
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution
That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
or purpose
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
of duties
upon which I'm about to enter. Right, so go ahead, hold your feet up on the back. Next, I'd like to invite Councilmember-elect Priscilla Deanda to come down, if any who's invited to participate. Big sister. I, Priscilla Deanda, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. I, Priscilla Diego, I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California. That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter. And the mayor, Rockland, if you want to come forward, we really like. Jerry, can you be mama? Please be my mother. Kelly, Kelly there, my son, there. Okay, and I just wanted to say who this is. This is my new friend Pat Lowe, who was the first woman mayor of Hollister. So it is my great honor to have her for everyone. I solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California. And I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States.
There are two states houses. To the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the Commonwealth. That I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservation. Or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully. Discharge the duties. Upon which Mayor, Stephen, I invite you to sit at the dais with your fellow councilmen.
For indulging me and my family, that was pretty incredible. Congratulations to our newly elected, Councilmember Touche, Councilmember Deandra, and, thank you, Councilmember Silver, for all the on the board for that. Okay, so we have a brief agenda that we're gonna move forward. Before we start, I just want to say one quick little comment, and then I'm gonna ask my, fellow, council members if they want to make a statement. In fact, I'm gonna ask them first. If you'd like to make a little comment about your election. Councilman Fisher.
I would. I just want to give some thanks and praise to the voters of District 1 for having faith in me. Letting me darken their doorstep a little bit with my shadow, letting me, I would say it all campaign long, if their door swang and they voted in that last election, I stopped by and I said hello, and if I had some campaign materials, I made sure not to let it hit the ground. I signed it, and I appreciate every single vote, and I'm listening to every single one of you. I'm very excited. I've been a leader in, every company that I've worked for, big ones and small ones. And I'm looking forward to be a leader for District 1 and on this council. So thank you for this opportunity.
You want to make a comment or Councilmember Fisher?
I want to say I'm humbly honored, to be sitting up here, with people. It's a privilege, and I'm saying to this sort of speak, I am ready to fight for the people of District 4 and the city as a whole, and really to work and have some fun.
Resended?
Thank you, Mayor Stevens. I was thinking about what to say, and I saw a little quote that said, "Alone you can go fast, but together you can go far." What happened here in the city of Hollister and the county was a group effort. Thank you to all of the voters. Thank you to the elected officials that are here tonight. Thank you to all the members of the public that came out here tonight. I'm very optimistic about the future of Hollister. I'm very optimistic that we're going to work in partnership with our wonderful staff, our county partners, and the community as a team to go far. Thank you all for being here tonight, and congratulations to you.
Thank you, Councilman Offended. So I just want to start by also saying thank you to all of the supporters, everybody in this room in one way or another have supported all of us who are sitting up here. And this is by no means any one individual's effort. This is everyone and all of our supporters. We will need that moving forward. I'm just going to put you on the list. We're going to need your work as we continue to work for you. Congratulations, helping today again, Council Member Deanda. And looking forward to working with all of you. And here's just a few things that I just want to say. As you saw our swearing in, and I had former Mayor Pat Lowe swearing in, part of the reason why I want her to be here, because I think it's important that we remember our history and our traditions and the people that came before us. And so as we step in these big shoes that we're in, we have to honor those that came before us. And I appreciate that Mayor Lowe is here standing in for me and swearing me in, because she represents the hard work that went into those that came before us, especially women who are now on this council. And so she, with our history, as well as others, like Councilwoman Nikki Luna, thank you so much for all of your support and for being here. We can see the forest and without you, we would not be sitting here. So I am so grateful for you. So my commitment to you, the city of Hollister, residents of Hollister, is that I will always honor our past and traditions with the flair of what's coming up for the future. Because I think that's what we represent here in Hollister. We have a lot of historical things that we can be proud of, and we need to honor those. So that's what I will do as we move forward, with the flair for what's in step for us in the future. So I hope that tonight is just the beginning of that kind of representation by myself and this council. I also want to make a quick comment to those who made comments earlier about commitment of civility and respect. I hear you, and I look forward to being able to affect change in that area. And I believe that we will always have that if we listen to each other with an open mind, if we're able to have open and honest, even passionate discussion, and I commit to that. So I'm looking forward to this with all of you, and let's just move forward together, work hard. So thank you again. I'm gonna stop talking for a moment and open up for public comment.
Thank you, Mayor Stevens. Our first speaker is Carly Robles, to be followed by Elias Linas.
Congratulations. I'm so excited that all of you are up there now. I feel like we have a great city council now, bringing a lot done. And I just want to congratulate you, and I'm really proud that you worked hard and all the constituents voted for you to be where you are. And just congratulations. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Elias Linas, to be followed by Alex Miller.
Good evening, Madam Mayor Gonzalez Stevens. Congratulations to all you new council members. I would remind you that you took an oath to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, as well as you're taking an oath to the citizens of this community, whether you agree or disagree. When you're up there, you're making decisions. Again, you're making decisions based on the entire community, the entire best decision that you can make with facts that are given to you. The staff is available to you. When you don't know anything, you start off with staff. then you start learning and you start asking questions and you ask questions and you ask questions. So don't stop asking questions because that's how you're going to get your experience by making your own research and by making your own decisions without individuals swaying you to make a decision of them. That is the most important thing, is that you make the informed decision on your own and not because some other council member is swaying you to go one way or the other. I want to remind you that, as Mayor Stevens said earlier about civility, that is so important. And because right now you're on Team Roland Resendez, you shouldn't be getting any backlash. But that may end at some time when there is a disagreement. And it's not for you to take it personal, although the history shows that Councilman Resendez takes it personal, does not know how to cannot separate business from personal. And when you're up here, you are handling the, can you stop the clock, please?
Yes, let's stop. Let's let the speaker finish her comment. We're gonna respect her and respect others, but, thank you for that comment, but let's let Mr. Lewis.
I just want to clarify that this is a public comment. And time was taken away from me. Okay?
We did pause the timer, but we restarted it when you started.
Okay, so I'm taken off track here. When you make a decision to be up there, you make a decision on your own and don't be swayed by anything. And the rapport that you have with your staff, please have a great rapport. Please respect them, respect their time. They don't personally wait for you, they work for the entire community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lane.
The next public speaker is Alex Miller, to be followed by Joe.
Thank you very much. When Rudy first told me that you were running for city council, I could not believe my ears. I could not. When I first started talking politics with Rudy, he was complaining about something in Hollister. And I told Rudy, go down to the city council and just go to one meeting. If you go to one meeting, you will know more than 50% of the people in your community. But if you go to 2 meetings, you'll know more than 75%. And if you go to 3 and you sit through the whole meeting, you'll know 90% of what's going on in your community. And as a council member myself, I know this to be true. When I ran my first election for county supervisor in 2016, nobody believed in me. Now, one person believed in me except for Rudy. Rudy walked doors with me in Monterey County. We drank beer, enjoyed each other's time together. And he was the only person that stood up and said, I'm going to support my friend. And that's why I'm here tonight, to support him. Rudy has been a lifelong friend of mine for over 20 years. And I met him at Verizon Wireless when we worked together and we both liked cars 20 years ago. We got along great. I always tried to keep up to his sales numbers, but I never could. Rudy has a special way with people. And that's why I know he's going to be great in this seat. Rudy hasn't missed my daughter's birthday in 8 years. He's there for family gatherings. He's a true loyal friend. And so tonight, I have the honor of saying, Rudy, congratulations. You deserve the seat, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Our next public speaker is Joe, to be followed by Nikki Luna.
Well, guys, I want to say congratulations to all of you. Congratulations to Mayor, Roxanne Stevens. Still in the early days when I called you and I said that, you know, to hi to Mr. Mayor. Someone who's doing things just starting. It's a long time ago, but it didn't really feel like it was. Rudy, that reminds me, I still owe you a trip down to the river. I'd invite the rest of you along, but that's a granite violation. So, probably should have done it last summer, but we'll figure it out. The freelance called it described it as a slow growth grand slam, and in a lot of ways it was, but more importantly, it was a populist sweep. The people voted for all of you guys because you guys said that you listened to us and that you'll talk to us. And that was actually one thing I liked about the now the former mayor. Because she did communicate with me on social media and talk to each other and all that. So that's something I look forward to with you guys in the future, is that you folks are the people. You really are. I like it. So yeah, congratulations to Councilman Rika, Mayor Roxanne Stevens, Councilwoman Priscilla DeLanda. Congratulations to all. You guys fought hard, you guys fought well, and oh my God, did you guys win. Measure A's victory wasn't close to yours. It was 11-9 for Measure A. It was 2-1 for you guys. Yeah, so quite proud of you guys for all that you've done. And I look forward to seeing what you guys will do in the future. And I look forward to attending these meetings and seeing what you guys get done, help you guys out with the cities. Congratulations to all of you.
Speaker is Vicky Luna, to be followed by Bella Rosales.
Well, what can I say? Congratulations to all that were elected. As a former council member, as a former employee of the city of Hollister for 30 years in finance, I can tell you that at times it seems like you are not going to be appreciated, but you know what? You serve. You go ahead and serve your best because your constituents elected you. And when you make those decisions, don't allow anybody that has never been elected come here and tell you what you need to do. As a former elected officer of the city of Hollister and an employee, I stand here to offer my assistance to any of you that may need any historical information, because you know I have it. I mean, I've been around the city for many years, 30 years working, over 55 years of community service. So if you need my help, I'm here. So congratulations to all. Listen to your constituents, concentrate on that, respect each other. You know, not too many people get to sit on the dais like you're sitting today. Respect that and the podium. And please, anytime somebody speaks to you, have that eye contact. Don't lower your face. Have that face contact, because it means the world to the person on this side, because we're looking at you for answers and you're looking at us for support. Thank you.
The next speaker is Bella Rosales, to be followed by Danny Barrera Jr.
Hi, council. First, I want to congratulate you guys. You all worked so hard to get here, and I'm so hopeful about what we can achieve together. We have an incredible opportunity in front of us to create the future we want to see, and I know you all can get us there. Thank you for taking on this huge responsibility, and congratulations again.
The next public speaker is Danny Barrera Jr., to be followed by Celeste Bocanegra.
Good evening, everyone, Madam Mayor, council members. My name is Danny Barrera. I'm the executive director for Homeless de Antonio. That's our local senior center here in town. And one of my commitments to our seniors right now is to be at every city council meeting, either myself or my staff. And we are excited. The seniors are excited about our new council. They're excited about the direction moving forward for Hollister. And if you ever have questions or ever want to know, come by the senior center and hear from your seniors and get some awesome knowledge and just some history there as well, because our seniors have been there very long and they have so much to offer, so much to share. And I encourage you all continue to lean into our seniors and learn from them, because they have so much wisdom and so much experience of things that they have done right, things that they have done wrong, and they are willing to share that experience with you So please, I encourage you guys, go by the senior center and on behalf of the seniors and the staff at Hollister, we congratulate you guys. And we're excited that you are here and we're looking forward to moving forward. Happy.
The next public speaker is Let's Go Banana.
Hello, everyone. Congratulations on your new position. I'm glad, to see you faces and I'm excited actually. I appreciate everyone who was also sitting there previously. They did do an amazing job as well. So, I'm here today to remind everyone of the public's First Amendment right? Because you are politicians now. So, I'm just gonna quickly read what the First Amendment is. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievance. And I believe many of us here have exercised those rights, right? And I'm sure you have as well. So I want to remind you, when people come up here, maybe in a manner that may feel disrespectful to you, sometimes there's emotions with that comment. May not be what you think, you may be feeling is a threat, and may not be an actual threat. So be mindful of what the reason that they're actually up here for, right? Because now that you're in a position with authority, you might want to cut them off, or that, for example, if I say one of your names, you may feel disrespected and say, hey, you're not allowed to say my name. Actually, you are, because you're now you're in a political position. So just be mindful that the public has the right to speak as long as there's no threats. And that is why we have our chief here, so we can take care of those and silence those with those individuals who don't want to cause any harm to anybody. So that's about it. And congratulations, and I hope to see good things from all of you. Thank you.
The next public speaker is Peter Hernandez.
Hello, City Council, brand new council mayor, current Councilmember Resendez. Thank you for stepping up to the plate. I know how hard it is to serve. I just wanted to be an encouragement to you guys. I mean, sitting myself as former county supervisor, a lot of contention, obviously, division or disagreeable sentiments. You know, my encouragement really is to try to figure out what it means to unify in spite of differences. You know, and I think in a lot of ways that obviously means that you open with dialogue. You know, I followed this current city council, and without getting into the nuances, I was one as a county supervisor that even in times of disagreement would never, ever, ever support a censure. I did that for intentional reasons, because I knew, just like I appreciate being reminded by Celeste, that the First Amendment is very valuable. It's very profound. It has a lot of legal implications and protections by default. And if you're really trying to encourage discourse, then you have to hear things that you might not know. Granted, with respect, obviously, the profanity, there's a certain level it can be by the chair managed, right? But that still means you figure out what it is to unify that sentiment and direct that conversation in a productive manner. Which is why I believe that censure should be removed of Councilmember Resendez. I believe it's time, honestly, for a unified council. You're going to be dealing with a lot of heavy-handed burdens by the state. I've been a vocal advocate, basically try to support our community, because just like one of the previous speakers mentioned, Measure A is a resounding message to our community. And ultimately, it has to do with housing, right? People are tired of the burdens that they're carrying. All that to be said is, if you're going to do that, you have to do it in a unified manner. And then one final reminder, in Article 1, one of the sections that basically mentions that there's supremacy clause. The Constitution by default requires that there's a respect to the national Constitution. The reason why I mention that is because you're gonna be told that you have to listen to the state laws. That's assuming that there is no disregard for the national constitution. And all that, I'm just pointing out to the reality that if you're being forced to grow beyond your own capacity, if you're not considering the issues of the community, ultimately the will of the people, then obviously there should be at least a question of what that means, and encourage your state assembly member to read this, and encourage your state senator and mayor to bring that conversation, explain to our community why was being forced to grow beyond our capacity. I do believe there's a way out of it. That means that we increase revenue. That means you encourage commercial growth. And I think there's an opportunity to do that with a unified board. Again, making sure we all work together. God bless.
Mayor Stevens, those are all the public comments for this item.
Okay, thank you all for those comments, and we are hearing you. So we're going to move forward with our agenda. We're going to agenda item 8.1, selection and oath for Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor Stevens and Council, so this item is something that is done annually. This is the selection of the mayor pro tem or vice mayor. And so the city council's code of conduct in the municipal code states that it's done numerically 1, 2, 3, 4 based on your district number. That has changed over the years, gone back and forth depending on whether or not a member of the council is interested in serving as vice mayor. So I leave it to the council to determine who they would like to serve as vice mayor. I can state that for the past several years, it went from council district 1, skipped 4, went 3, 2, and then back to 1. So that's been the current order, and I'll let you guys decide how you want to do it.
Okay, thank you, City Clerk. So I just want to ask if we would like to comment and have discussion.
Go ahead, sir.
I would just like to say that part of my being up here would be to lighten things up and get more participation from the public. So if that were the goal, we can keep it going the way it's going, just throwing it out, and we'll see how it goes.
Thank you, Mayor Stevens. The previous council, not this previous council, but the council before, put the policy in place to be fair, so that we can just rotate it and be fair. I don't believe that the last action taken by the previous council, where they appointed the city council member from District 1 for 2 weeks as the vice mayor, was fair. I was the vice mayor. I represent District 2. I think it's right and only fair that we elect, or we choose District 1 Rudy Pache for the next vice mayor of the city of Hollister and follow the policy as adopted. Those are my thoughts. Thank you for allowing me to speak, Mayor Stevens.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, so we have any public comments? City Clerk?
Yes, we do. We have one comment card for Joe.
I'd say in selecting the vice mayor wasn't actually, in those rotation basis. I mean, I guess I kind of did, because I mean, Morales was vice mayor at one point, then someone was already in the members out. About that, and it's been spaces and things at the time. I think personally though that I do like the idea of Rudy going first as vice mayor, but I personally think there's a year just good for just the sake of continuity. He is the only one on the board who has, who will continue to be on the council from, same as yesterday as he will tomorrow. It's continuity and experience really what it comes down to. Of course, Rudy's awesome. We've got a great energy doing it, great work ethic. I'm sure he'd be great as vice mayor. It's just for the sake of continuity initially, I think if he resigns. Thank you.
Thank you.
Those are all the public comments for this item.
Thank you. At this minute, public comment section. So do I have any nominations for vice mayor?
Mayor Stevens. Thank you. I nominate District 1 Rudy Pache for vice mayor of the city of Hollister.
Second. I'll second.
Do I third?
All in favor? All in favor to say aye or raise your hand? Aye.
Yes.
So any opposed? No, we say congratulations, Vice Mayor.
I promise I'll get this down.
Yeah, and thank you for your patience as we are a little clumsy on this first attempt to add money at a city council meeting. A little bit better. So next item is the consent agenda. Do any members of the council have any brief questions or comments on items on the consent agenda? Councilman Mercedes?
Thank you, Madam Stevens. Thank you, Mayor Stevens. At the appropriate time, if I can, I'd like to pull item 9.2.
Okay, so any other comments on the consent calendar?
Mayor Stevens, we do have 2 public comments for the consent calendar. items.
Okay.
Our first speaker is Elliot Salinas for item 9.1.
Madam Mayor. This is the consent agenda item for approving the mayor and council members for travel. And as you are aware that, Councilman Resendez, is not allowed based on there's an ordinance for his for conduct unbecoming, and he was stripped of, council, he was stripped from, committees and from travel and from getting expenses. So, my first, question to you, via attorneys and, city mayor is, this has never happened before, where you, make these arrangements on the first day when you get appointed. And, I remind you that you did take an oath to the Constitution of the state of California, which is to abide by all the laws of the state of California as well as municipal laws. So you have, among yourselves, it appears that you have had a discussion on who's going to do what and who's going to approve what. If you have had a discussion among yourselves, it is a violation of California Penal Code Section 182, which is conspiracy, which is considered a felony. Now, you're violating a municipal code, which is not a felony, but conspiracy makes it a felony for violating that. So I would hope that you would want to table this, and I would hope that you would want to get a legal opinion in closed session on this specific agenda item, because you are violating a municipal code that was approved and stands, whether you like it or don't like it. You can come back and you can, in a future agenda item, discuss that ordinance that is as of tonight. And mind you, that the district attorney will be watching this meeting. And if you're violating, Mr. Joel Buckingham will be contacted. So I strongly suggest you table this, you go in closed session and you talk to your city manager, and more specifically, you talk to your city attorney that you may be violating, which may conspire, which also can lead to conspiracy. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next public speaker is Elliot Salinas for item 9.3.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Again, this is for appointments for city council committee assignments. And as I've stated before, you have spoken among yourselves, although you were not sworn. While you sit here, you will, if you continue with this agenda item and don't table it, You are violating a municipal law. You are violating California Penal Code Section 182, which is conspiracy, which is a felony. I strongly urge you to please table this item and get legal advice. The three of you are new, and it does not look good, Mayor Stevens, that your first action would be to break the law. So please consider what I'm saying and table this agenda item until you've gotten some legal advice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Stevens, those are all the comments for any of the consent calendar items.
Okay, thank you. I'm closing public comment section. Is there any, other discussion from my fellow council members?
I'd like to just ask staff if there is validity to that and, just get some counsel from potentially Ms. Leonard. What do we need to be concerned about here?
Yes, I assume when you say validity to that, you're meaning the whole comment, or is there anything specific that you're talking about?
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Okay, first of all, I'm not a criminal law attorney, so I'm not gonna speak to conspiracy and penal code. Also, these are the mayor's appointments, and I have spoken with the mayor, and I do want to remind everybody that this code of conduct is self-enforcing. And so I'm not gonna share my advice out here in public, but I will let the mayor go ahead with the council meeting.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Do I have a motion?
Thank you, Mayor Stevens. I move to adopt the consent agenda as presented by staff, other than the item 9.2, which I am going to pull for discussion.
Do I have a second?
At second.
All in favor?
Yes.
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 Motion passes. Okay. So the guidance on the poll item, we're, can I just check in with city clerk, if you want to.
Alternative city manager, city attorney.
Okay, so the item before you is a travel request from Councilmember Morales for the Civic Well Policymaker Conference. This is a conference which has gone through the last few years with the city. This is a conference that some of the items at the conference that will be discussed are insights from federal agency leaders on the next 4 years, resilient people, resilient communities, forward-looking local and regional collaboration. Kind of the highlights of the conference is I'll just read from their summary. Here's a program will focus on actions we can take to build resilient communities, how to build consensus around policies we effectively to overcome adversity, gain support for tools and strategies, and work collectively to realize a shared vision. The topics I'll also be discussing are water innovation and action, and then a session around climate law. This is typically attended by mayors, council members, and county supervisors. I'll take any questions again.
Any questions?
No.
Councilmember Rosenberg?
Thank you, Mayor Stevens. I don't have a question, just a comment, if I may. Thank you. So the last council that was here went over their travel budget within months of being elected. The city is in deep financial crisis because of a number of decisions that were made by the last council. This is not something that I can support. Going on a trip to Yosemite, this will be the second trip that this council member is taking under this fiscal year. I cannot support it. I think it's not a good way for us to start off the new year. I would like to have a discussion about the current policy because they doubled their travel policy in the last council, and they also gave this particular council member an additional fund on top of that. So if we're going to trainings that are required once a year, every other year, that we need to be abreast of current policies by the League of California Cities, fine. But if we're gonna go on a trip to Yosemite, I just cannot support that, especially if it's the second trip that this person's taking for this fiscal year. We're already in deep financial crisis. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Resendez. Any other comments or questions? So just quick correction, move for motion now, is that where we're at? Okay, thank you. Okay, so I will, make a motion to approve the travel for council member, Morales, and I'm gonna ask for a second for my vote on council members. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
And no,
Okay, and all opposed?
I'm a no.
I'm a no.
So the motion does not pass, thank you, council members. So we're gonna move on from the, consent agenda and move forward to the informational reports on committee assignments.
There are likely no reports.
There are no reports, right? Okay. So as this is, this council just started, we have our new, assignments, so at our next, few meetings, we should have reports. At this stage, we won't have one. So let's move on to council member requests for future agenda items. The staff received 4 requests for future agenda items, so I'm going to check in first with council member Pache about his agenda item.
I asked for project labor agreements to be put on the agenda. The reason being is I feel like what we do up here, what we should be doing up here is representing the public with the public's. This is how we run the city. We should be running this like a business, right? We've got money coming in, money going out. So Mr.
Mayor
Resendez's point.
Yeah.
Councilmember Boucher, I'm sorry, Vice Mayor Boucher, I apologize. If I could weigh in here. So part of this process is simply, if you're familiar with the previous process, it was like thumbs up, thumbs down, this is gonna go on a future agenda for discussion. So that's what this item is, and then at that time, if your colleagues all say, majority say, yes, let's talk about this and agendize it for a future meeting, because other members of the public might be interested in this as well, that's where you'll have the opportunity to talk about it, make your statements regarding it. This is simply your thumbs up, thumbs down process. So, and I think you do have some people for public comment on whether this should go on a future agenda.
Okay. So Councilman, Pache, can you remind us again what the agenda item is, and then we'll ask for public comment?
It's to put on the agenda, conversation about the project labor agreements and what we are paying for certain things that we do. When we do some public works.
Thank you. For public comments on this, city clerk?
Yes, we had several from earlier. First is Eric Larson. Okay.
Thank you very much, council. Congratulations for the first day of service. My name is Eric Larson and I'm an iron worker. Worked a number of years here in Hollister and San Benito County with home care providers. Training care providers to advocate for their families and loved ones and disabled and seniors. And then COVID hit and my world really changed. I found my way into construction, digging ditches and doing demo work, driving a dump truck. A friend of mine here in Hollister steered me towards something called the Trade Orientation Program, otherwise known as TOP. And I was introduced to apprenticeship opportunities. I've had some hard times in my life. I've been incarcerated. Construction has been a place where my background didn't really matter. As long as I worked and I did a good job. So the Hollister Community Workforce Agreement was written to provide for the targeted training of underrepresented individuals in the field of construction, meaning local residents can have expanded access to career opportunities like being an iron worker or apprenticeship opportunities. The Community Workforce Agreement establishes the utilization rates for the hours to be performed by workers who are enrolled in apprenticeships or pre-apprenticeship programs like TOP, like I was. Meaning our workforce is getting properly trained and our projects can save money by using apprentices. We learn as we earn. The Community Workforce Agreement also expands opportunity for those who have been underrepresented in the construction field, including minorities, women, and foster youth. Thank you for allowing me to speak and to share a little bit about my story. I think apprenticeship programs with project labor agreements really benefit communities, and it really gives us a chance, especially in my own case, kind of a second chance or a third chance. And you know, having a high road construction job, you know, opens up opportunities for good wages, benefits, healthcare. So I want to thank you very much for allowing me to speak about project labor agreements, in particular, community workforce agreements. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The next speaker.
Can I just ask the audience to be hold up the applause until the end, so feel free.
The next public speaker is Casey, to be followed by Nels Ash. Not sure how many are here. Nels Ash, to be followed by Steve Belong. And then we have Rob Renowski that raised his hand.
Hi, good evening and welcome, new council and mayor. I just want to say with regards to putting PLA's project labor agreements on the agenda, yes, please do. I think it is extremely important for all government entities, especially small ones like the city of Hollister, to take into consideration the entire population as well as the city budget and ask the question, do project labor agreements help the small business person in Hollister, or do they prevent the small business person from being able to come to the table and actually get business from government spending? So thank you very much for the potential for putting it on the agenda. And please keep, again, the entire population of San Benito County. I have nothing against unions, but I do want to fight for the small business person. Thank you very much. That concludes my comments.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we have one other comment by L.A. Salinas. I have it for 10.2. I've got that one too. So not on 10.2. Okay, those are all the public comments from this item.
Thank you. So we just check in again on procedure. Should we go through every council member's agenda request before we?
I would recommend going through all of them and then taking consensus.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that, Councilman Resendez.
I'm talking about my
Your
request.
agenda, yes, your request. We're gonna do the thumbs up.
Thank you. So I think the best way, maybe city manager, city attorney, is it's in the agenda. What would you like for me to do? The best way to talk about it? I can keep it basic. What would you like?
Well, I think the form speaks for itself, and so
Sure.
I think if you just state the agenda items for the public and for your colleagues.
Thank you. I'm requesting that we start an ad hoc committee for, Dave, you're gonna have to help me out. The fire district committee, is that this?
It'd be the fire contract negotiation.
Thank you, fire, I get those two mixed up. Thank you, Dave. That's what I'm asking.
Any questions or comments on that item? Any public comment?
There are no other public comments for this item.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Councilmember Sanders. Councilmember Bianca?
I'm requesting to agendize on these to back to the previous days and times with Monday evenings up to 3 p.m.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
No.
Public comments?
No public comment.
Okay. Thank you, Councilmember Bianca. So I'm gonna ask for my agenda item to be put forward. So I'm gonna ask that the 4th of July Bible Rally 2025 be on our next agenda. And just basically asking for information so that we can have the discussion around that at our future meeting. Any questions or comments? Any public comments?
No public comments.
So, with that, let's just put a thumbs up if you are in favor of the future, the proposed future agenda items. Four thumbs up, okay, so we have that. Okay, so, city manager report.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to provide a quick update as we go into the holidays, as a reminder to the community that our holiday ice rink is going to occur on Friday, December 20th from 6 to 9 p.m., Saturday, December 21st from 4 to 8 p.m., and Sunday, December 22nd from 12 to 4 p.m. And so we have registration on our city website, so we would encourage the community to come out and participate in the ice skate rink. And that's it about it.
Thank you, city manager. And then item 10.3.
Mayor Stevens, we do have a public comment.
Oh, sorry about that, public comment.
From Elias Salinas. Okay, then there are no other public comments from that.
Okay, thank you. And then item 10.1, updates on city council projects. None, there's none. Good. So we're gonna take a break now. And then after the break, we're gonna move into a closed session, but we're gonna take a little break right now. Is that right?
And Mayor
Okay,
Stevens,
thank
I
you.
could read the descriptions before we take a break.
Okay, thank you.
While the public's here. Item 11.1, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation pursuant to government code, section 54956.9, significant exposure to litigation pursuant to paragraph 2 or 3 of subdivision D of section 54956.9 of the government code, to truths. 11.2, public employee performance evaluation pursuant to government code section 54957, city manager. 11.3, public employee performance evaluation pursuant to government code section 54957, title city attorney. And those are the closed session items.
Okay, thank you for that. Any public comment?
Yes, we have one from Elias Salinas.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Mayor, and I would suggest, another seat for you, so we can sit. I'm going to make a comment. 11.2 and 11.3, I kind of combined them together. This is the employee performance evaluation for both the city manager and for the city attorney. And I just find it a little odd that you are wanting to do an evaluation on your first night. I know how things have gone on in the past, and I know with regards to the pressures that have been put on the city manager and have been put on the city attorney as well. And I'm hoping that your closed session tonight is moving forward on how you all are going to work together in a manner in which you allow the city manager to continue to do his job, and you allow the city manager to be the point person for staff. There's a history where council members believe that they could just go directly to a department head and tell the department head what to do. That is not your job. The city manager is there to protect them, and I would ask that you please respect your staff and the department heads, and more you respect the city manager to allow him to do his job and be the go-between. This has happened in the county. It's been happening in Lyon County, and it's caused morale problems. It's caused working under a hostile environment, and you're brand new. And I know that that's not something that you want to do. So I want you to, when you go back in closed session, to that you're allowed to open up yourselves to have a candid conversation with your city manager on what the city manager does. And if you don't, you may not actually really know what a city manager does, but he has a big responsibility to run this city, and more importantly is to take care of his staff. I say the same thing for the city, for your city attorney. Please respect her position. There have been many times in previous council members where the history was that the council members we're actually running the city by having the city manager and having the city attorney do the work, but they were under fear of getting fired because it just takes 3 votes and they're out of the job. So please respect their positions. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Mayor, this is the city attorney over there. Okay. If I could just weigh in, the city manager and I specifically asked that our evaluations be put on this agenda. Thank you.
Thank you.
And those are all the public comments for the closed session items.
Okay, thank you. So thank you for those comments, and we are going to now take a break. I'm expecting there's our city manager. So we are gonna take a break. So, can I have you make a quick announcement about the break?
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick break. Our team has brought some cake and refreshments. We'll be bringing that out for the community. We'll have a brief time to have refreshments, cake, take some photos, and then we'll wrap that up and then we'll go to closed session. Once that's completed, we'll be the end.
So please join us for cake, and we'll mingling time with us for a minute before we go into closed session. Thank you.
I just got a quick one.